Hey, what up? It's your boy Raj Groves. Believe in Chelsea FC and big ups no matter where you are abroad, in the States. And if you're in the States, it's Thanksgiving weekend. That's right. And hey, can we agree on something? Can we agree on one thing? Thanksgiving. Gotta eat turkey, right? Can we just agree that turkey is the most overrated meat that there is? If we can even call it meat, I guess. Well, it's a meat, a chicken, whatever, a protein. I mean, Lord of mercy, you spend all day making this thing. You spend more time than that, dicing it up, spicing it up, basically putting a witch's potion on it. And for what? Just to make it edible? I mean, it's not that good, right? If it's so good, why we only eat it one time a year? You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for Subway and like Jersey Mike's with turkey sandwiches, we'd never eat that. Turkey would go out of business. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about. We're coming off the break, the international break, and Chelsea has faced Heidenheim in the latest game in their conference league match. And we're going to preview the Aston Villa game too. But first, some quick thoughts on this game. Now, look, it wasn't the video game results we've had recently in the conference league matchups, right? With the 6-0 games and whatnot. You know, we get to see the academy boys in there because it's such a blowout and a televised scrimmage, as I'd like to call it. And you could say this was the toughest test for Chelsea so far. Heidenheim, they hadn't given up. They haven't lost any points either. They're a Bundesliga team, albeit 15th. But this was a tough test. And guess what? I wanted to see this. It was only 2-0 Chelsea. And hey, first of all, let's get into their crowd. Yo, these dudes were hype. Can we hire some of these cats to come rock for us in the bridge and cheer for Chelsea? They had drums, they had chants, songs, a flare. Come on, can we get some flares back in the EPL? It's not that bad, right? We got fire extinguishers everywhere. What's wrong with a little flare here and there? So anyway, first thing, I watched the match, and then I like to see people's comments, and especially from England, what they're saying, and people were freaking out. We only won 2-0, and they were talking about the chances that Heidenheim had, but that were called like offsides. Oh, Chelsea got lucky because they were offsides. All right. First of all, know the rules, Tam. And when I'm talking about know the rules, I'm talking about the team we're playing. Can't be offsides, yo. And the offsides are a result of the high line Chelsea plays. This high line, I know we saw it in the preseason, like where Celtic just burned us, but give us time. You know what I'm saying? And it's a tactical approach, almost encouraging, inducing offsides from other teams. Our back four holding an offside line at the edge of the penalty box instead of dropping back into it. So they're like almost daring you to go offsides. And sometimes, we got caught in the preseason, and here and there you see it in the league, in the EPL. We get caught a little bit, but this was an example of how it works and how teams can be induced and encouraged and tricked, dare I say, to be offside. So yeah, they got some chances and some offside chances, and other times, the biggest topic of this is Jorgensen, the goaltender, our second string goaltender. And there was a poll where 65% of Chelsea fans want Jorgensen to start over Sanchez. I'm not there yet, all right, especially with the level of competition Jorgensen is facing, even though this was a decent team. But although Sanchez gives me heart attacks when he handles the ball with his feet and his distribution decisions, I think the last game he completed like 2 or 3 passes. That's it. Even though a lot of them were long passes, it's awful. But Sanchez still makes some saves, and I would like for there to be a real goaltender competition. And some of these games in the Conference League, or the Walmart League, like I like to call it, is that's to see what these guys can do. Can they challenge for first team reps? And I'm talking starting 11 reps. So Jorgensen, it's good to have a number 2. He is our number 2. But for now, I want to see him stay there. However, I am open to the possibility of him potentially being our number 1. And come next year, neither of them can be our number 1. Let's face it. We got to get in the transfer market. Not this January, but in the summer. All right, couple notes on this game before we move on to the preview of Aston Villa. Were the wasted chances by Chelsea. I see that more than the offsides, chances we induced in this and that, because we were not clinical, folks. Let's face it. That last third, our forwards wasn't clinical. First, Mark Yu. It's like I was watching this game, and I was a big fan of Yu, in the preseason for his hustle and almost getting to go here and there, but just causing havoc. But I started to think of a chant like, "Are you Gallagher? Are you Gallagher? Are you Gallagher in disguise? Are you Gallagher in disguise?" I mean, all the hard work, effort, everything but the finish. And this was an example. You had your chances, and it was a mid at best, bro. He was fluffing things, just some basic ass weak contact shots that were easily saved. Got himself in a position, hustled, all that good stuff we saw from Gallagher. But are you out of position? Are you just not a striker? What's going on, yo? Are you just not good enough? I think my man Mark Yu needs to go on loan, because he needs playing time. He needs to become a finisher. And they said when they brought him here, and I was shocked, and they've stuck to it so far. They said he would not go on long, but he's not a backup striker or anything for us right now. Let's get him out there and get him some playing time so he can be more clinical. Also, what I got, our other finisher, Nkunku. My guy, I love me some Nkunku. That's my dude. He got a goal, and he leads the competition, the conference championship, conference league, whatever the hell they call this thing, in goals. I think he has 11 now, but it wasn't his best performance, was it? Could have had more. And my worry is, because he's good enough to be starting 11, we just don't have a spot. Let's admit it. Because he's good enough to be a first teamer, maybe on other teams, but right now at Chelsea, our number 10 is Palmer. He's not really a winger, and we've got a striker named Nicholas Jackson. He ain't getting the time and the first reps that he wants, and I'm worried that he's starting to sulk a little bit. That really worries me, because if it stays like this next year at this time, Nkunku ain't going to be here. But you can't start playing like you're not going to be there. And that's what I'm worried about, y'all. That's what I saw out there today. Some positive. Sancho, beautiful passes in the box. I'm talking about that second assist he had to Mudryk. It wasn't just a F it. They're in there somewhere. Let me kick the ball in. He looked up, saw what was coming, put his head down. Beautiful pass to Mudryk. And Mudryk with a great finish. Let's face it, that was an awesome finish. Top corner. And then, of course, Sancho assisted on the first goal to Nkunku. So he was probably the bright spot. Ronaldo Vega played well also. But, that wraps up that game. I mean, it was a 2-0 victory for Chelsea. I'll take it. We ain't going to win every game there, 6-0. I want to see some of the academy boys, but I also want to see them play under some stress and see what these dudes can do. So that's what we got there. Now, let's move ahead. We got a game on Sunday. That's right, 5:30 for y'all in LA, California on the West Coast Pacific time, the best coast. It ain't best when it's 5:30 coming off my Saturday night. Oh, Lord of mercy, what am I going to do there? But we'll figure it out. So, Aston Villa. Now, they've been no pushover for us, and they're doing well this season. I think they're 8th on the table, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But in our last 5 games versus Villa, we've only won 2 matches with a draw. And they've actually scored more goals than us in those last 5 games. I think it's 6-5. Villa scored 6 to our 5. Now, we are catching them in poor form, though. They haven't been doing as well lately. Hopefully, we can capitalize on that. And these are one of those games I've been talking about. Get 3 points where you can get 3 points. I don't need no damn draw. I don't need no late, where they tie it up late in the game. I don't need a late loss, 2-1 or nothing. No, I need a 3-1 victory at least. I don't think we're a clean sheet team yet, especially with Sanchez back there. Give me a 3-1 victory. Give me 3 points. We're currently in 4th, but that'll change obviously on Saturday when some other teams play possibly. And we'll go from there. Another thing with this game, of course, we'll see Cole Palmer in the 10. And something I've been thinking about, the Cole Palmer treatment. Now, last season, he took the league by storm, coming out of nowhere, being our best player by far, surprising folks. This year, it's a little bit different, right? People clipping at his heels and at his Achilles at his calf, literally and figuratively. You see the challenges and they're chipping them. And now I want to see how Cole Palmer responds. All right. Everyone knows who you are. You're not surprising nobody. They see you coming. They're putting extra attention to you strategically and also getting a little nasty and chippy with you. How do you respond, Cole? Because, yeah, of course he's playing well. He's still our best player, but I'm saying, and there's nothing against him. Don't get me wrong. Cole Palmer is still cold-blooded Cole. But he's getting a Cole Palmer treatment now. When you get star treatment, that's basically what that is. Star. Not just Chelsea star, but one of the stars of the league. You know, it can be a bit different. I could say Christian Pulisic, when he came over here, he came with the hype and people just like they went after him more. And I don't think he got the benefit of the doubt from the refs as much. People just going after him, you know, didn't want to see him shine. Well, Cole Palmer's getting that now and he deserves it. It's called star treatment. Let's see how he does. All right. Now I mentioned Nkunku struggling, why he can't play, and it's because of a man named Nicholas Jackson. That's right, our striker. Now, he's more to making up for our decision not to go after Victor Osimhen. Remember? And I was one of the few that was saying, yo, why we focus so much on Victor? It wasn't just because we have Nicholas Jackson, but I'm like, dude's wages are insane. He's going to want to raise to come over here. We know we're not into the, remember, you go back to my preseason, we're not into paying these dudes crazy wages, weekly wages. That's why we see Sterling in his 300,000 plus elsewhere. He's not doing too well either, Sterling. I don't know if that's good or bad. I want him to do good enough so we can get him out of there and someone will come and offer us a transfer fee, but I'm also the one like seller's remorse, right? So anyway, Nicholas Jackson, and a strange thing, it might come to a surprise to most of you, and Drogba is my fave. He's a legend, and I'm not saying he's going to be Drogba or anything like that, but it might surprise you to read that Drogba's first 57 games for Chelsea, he scored 23 goals. Jackson, in his first 50, how many games did I say? 57 games for Chelsea, 24 goals. Just think of that, all the scrutiny and just, I don't want to call it hate, but criticism towards Nicholas Jackson. His first 57 games, he's outpacing the legend Drogba. Yeah, that's a big surprise to me as well. So anyway, Aston Villa coming up 3-1. Let's get these 3 points. Let's maintain our Champions League position, which is top 4. If you don't know by now, I know some cats are from America. You know, they're like, hey, Champions League, what does that mean? Listen, we got seasoned Chelsea fans listening as well as new fans, and that's what this is all about. All of us, right? Community together. Now, on the way out, let's get to the Get At Me Blues mailbag at Gmail. And I got a question here. Let's get this up here. Hey, Raj, now are you ready to admit Chelsea are title contenders in the Premier League? Nah, fam. Come on. All right. Let's crawl before we can walk. Like I say, like, this is cool. We doing all right. This is great. This is growth. This is getting better. New manager. Let's go. Come on now. Liverpool is 9 points up on us. Do you really see Liverpool just falling off? I know we looked them in the eye. We lost 2-1. Cool. You know, Man City's ahead of us, but guess what? Yo, the way they're playing, I'm going to get on the pitch with them again right now because we've gotten better since we first played them to open up the season. They've gotten worse. A lot of around 30-year-old players not replacing pieces they've lost. It's catching up to them. Let's get them now. So, Man City, fine. They're not going to compete this year for top. I mean, they're ahead of us, but it's going the wrong direction. Liverpool, we're not there yet, fam, but we can get there at some point. So that's what I got. Quick review. I ain't been able to do as many lately. We were remodeling the kitchen, and Lord have mercy, you think it's just a kitchen. It affects everything. I can't even get down and do stuff. It just disrupts the whole entire house. So I will have a review. It's so early. I'm going to do it right after the game on Sunday. So let's get these 3 points. And you know how it is. Raj Groves, believe in Chelsea. Let's get it, Blues.